Public education is a huge opportunity because I believe in life, influence is the greatest currency that you can have. And public education raises the next generation. And I feel incredibly privileged to be influencing generation after generation, not just for academic purposes, but also for social and emotional learning purposes, to help kids understand how to be great husbands and how to be great wives and how to love their kids well and how to have a great work ethic, how to get what they want out of life.
Community in public schools is extremely important. I feel like that's one of the most special things about a public school. You know, here in Branson, my favorite thing about being the head football coach of the Branson Pirates is the community of Branson. The support that I feel, the excitement on a Friday night, them being here. There are so many times, you know, the list is endless of, you know, I reach out to somebody in the community and say, hey, I need a meal for my team, or I need this for a player can't afford cleats and we need it, and that need is filled like that. And you know, Branson High School or just any public school is an extension of the community, and I think that's what makes it special.
My grandfather was a teacher, math teacher, and then a principal and then superintendent. His daughter, my mom, math teacher. Now I am a theater teacher, which my dad was a theater teacher, and I can just picture that trickling down forever because we're born with that passion to want to help others, and it takes special people to become teachers, and it does have a lasting effect on others.
From kindergarten to 8th grade, I personally attended a private school, and then when I was a freshman in high school, I attended public school for the first time, so talk about it was very different. The biggest difference between private and public school was there were people that were not like me, which at that point in my life was really good for me to experience. Kind of broadened my horizon to a much more diverse population, and also provided me with opportunities to become more involved in activities that weren't offered at my school. Where the public school that I attended offered dual credit classes and you know, a lot of academic opportunities that would not have been available at the private school I attended. And I also think, you know, in reflection as an adult, it caused me kind of to really value putting my children in a place where it's not a classroom of people that are all completely alike them. The public education classroom is a really safe place for kids to be able to see that it's okay for other people to have different opinions.
I think it's very important for children to be in public education so they can get that exposure, how to communicate with one another, how to work as a group, how to be involved and get along. And I think public schools do an excellent job at digging in and preparing students for after high school.
Public school or public education is my dream job. I love coming to school every day and watching the students grow and learn and become leaders. I really believe that our job is preparing students to become future leaders in our community and the world, and I love being a part of their life. I make learning fun in my classroom. I will do whatever it takes to reach my students. I build connections. I really feel that the top thing about being a teacher is to build connections with your students and make it to where they want to come to school and make it fun. And I also work with students at their level. I begin at their level, and then we grow. And then, you know, just by teaching them, working with them, they grow in their learning, and they feel confident, and they love coming to school.
This is my public 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 school.
basketball on MoarkSports.com. Pirate basketball is presented by Central Bank and College of the Ozarks, and also brought to you in part by Advanced Spine and Joint Center, Branson Bubbles Car Wash, and Robbins Insurance Group, LLC. And now, with tonight's game, here's Scott McCauley.
Taken in this game, and this is one for the Pirates that they can really use. They've lost 2 in a row after getting an opening round win in the blue and gold tournament. They lost the final 2 games of the tournament in pretty decisive fashion to Springfield Kickapoo as well as to Willard. Meanwhile, Glendale was actually in our neck of the woods, just across the border. They played in the Berryville Holiday Hoops tournament, actually finished second to the host Berryville Bobcats down there. Coach here. Its job, and he did that back in 2012, and in his 1 year here, he helped the Pirates to a Central Ozark Conference championship. And Springfield Glendale opened up shortly after that, and that's a place he had a lot of history. He coached there for several years. He described it as his dream job, and he is still there 9 years later, his 9th season as head coach. Mike Linehan in his 5th as head coach of the Branson Pirates. As we've got our first game here of the 2022 part of the season.
Being presented by head coach Mike Linehan. Congratulations, Ethan.
Ethan Jones getting honored for his 1,000th point that happened during the blue and gold tournament. You mentioned that blue and gold tournament. The Pirates got an opening round win against Malcolm Grove.
At this time, will you please rise and remove your hats for the
Right now,
presentation
it's
of the
time to
colors?
honor America. We will
Lynette
do so with
The colors tonight are presented by the Branson High School Air Force
of our
Junior
national
ROTC
anthem.
Honor Guard. Please remain standing as the colors have left the floor. The Honor Guard tonight is commanded by Cadet Master Sergeant Lexi DeRobo. She's assisted by Cadet Airman First Class Christian Campbell, Cadet Airman Skylar Richards, and Cadet Airman Davi Smolovich.
For high school basketball tonight, as Branson Pirates playing the Springfield Glendale Falcons here at Branson High School. Let's give you the starting lineups for the Branson.
Ladies and gentlemen, once again, welcome to Branson High School for tonight's varsity contest between the Glendale Falcons and your Branson Pirates. Let's meet tonight's starting lineups. First for Glendale. Starting at guard, 6'1" sophomore, number 10, Tavion Washington. At guard, 6'4" senior, number 11, Carter Harrell. At forward, 6'3" junior, number 14, Cole Fearbacher.
And Tavion Washington is a 6'1" sophomore. This is definitely a tall ball club, and talking with Coach Mike Linehan, that's going to be one of the keys tonight. Of course, he's always said their outside shooting is a key game. Well, they definitely give up some advantages on the boards to this Glendale team, and they will have to do a good job of making the shots first off. And secondly, if they don't, trying to get in there and get some rebounds and get position. Glendale Falcons are dressed in their road blue with red trim uniforms. Branson in their home white with black trim uniforms. Opening tip-off coming up momentarily, which is brought to you by MoarkSports.com. It's your source for live sports in the Lakes region. Listen to coverage of various schools from the Ozarks Dynacom team of sportscasters, as well as coverage provided by PerryCoveSports.com. Get more information at MoarkSports.com, and don't forget to like us on Facebook. Again, Branson Pirate basketball presented by College of the Ozarks and Central Bank. And our game also brought to you in part by Branson Bubbles Car Wash, as well as its Advanced Spine and Joint Center and Robbins Insurance Group, LLC. First day of school back at Branson today. Talking to all the administrators, everything seemed to go well and everything getting back in routine after the holidays and the holiday tournaments that saw both the Branson teams play 3 games in their Springfield tournaments, and both the Pirates and Lady Pirates did the same thing. They won their opening round games, but then dropped their final 2. The Lady Pirates play later this week at Marshfield before opening conference play. Both teams will at Ozark next week. Lady Pirates on Monday and the Pirates on Tuesday. Cade Goodwin jumping center against Logan Fromm, who definitely has the height advantage, but even though Goodwin got up there at a pretty good pace, it's still Glendale. That controls the opening tip-off, and we are underway. Fromm has it on the baseline right side, fumbles the ball momentarily, throws it around the perimeter. Eventually he will get it back. He'll try a 3-ball, and that rolls in and out, no good. And Ascone with the rebound for Branson. Quickly over to Cooper on the left wing, shovels it inside, trying to hit Ethan Jones on the baseline. And Ethan was looking around thinking that maybe Glendale had touched the ball going out of bounds, but official down there says no, and it comes back the other way. Mentioned earlier, of course, we're on MoarkSports.com, but also want to greet the folks that are watching as well on the Branson YouTube channel through BransonPirates.net. Happy to team up with them for a lot of the home games this year. Missed shot by Glendale. Rebound to Ethan Jones. Trying to go coast to coast. He misses the layup. Couple of tips in. Scarborough and Ascone both tried it. Neither one could get the ball to drop, and Glendale with a rebound, still scoreless as we approach the 60-second mark gone here in the first quarter. Fake a 3 on the outside. Gibbons then drives, loses the handle, and eventually Harrell gets the basketball. In the corner it goes to Fromm. Bounces it, and Jones picks it off. And it's going to be a race to the basket, and Ethan Jones will win that race, and Branson's got a 2-0 lead. The Pirates get the first basket of the ball game, occurring at 1 minute and 15 seconds into this one here at Branson High School. Falcons trying to answer. In the corner, Rom thinks about a 3, gives it up, and then back on the baseline it goes. Kicks it back outside, now drive to the basket by Harrell. Throws it inside, reverse layup will be up and in. That is Grant Gibbons that gets the shot in. And it's tied, the game is, at 2-2. here at the 6:12 mark to go in the first quarter. Scarborough has it on the baseline, drives to the basket, and actually takes an extra step as he was trying to get around a defender and picked his dribble up a little early. The ball will come back the other way. Told you, busy night here on MoarkSports.com. If you saw our post, Perry Phillips is over in Hollister tonight. He's got coverage of the Tigers taking on Fair Grove. Also, our colleagues down in Harrison having a doubleheader, girls and boys. In fact, the girls' game should be wrapped up or close to it bound down, as the Goblins and Lady Goblins are hosting Gentry. Here's the ball and the entry pass that gets inside, and it's another layup by Grant Gibbons, and Glendale has their first lead at 4-2. Now 2 minutes, 15 seconds in here in the first quarter. Here's Cooper on the baseline, drives in the lane, nice pass inside. Scarborough's reverse layup is going to be blocked in there. Couldn't tell who got a hand on it, but it's Glendale coming back the other way on the run. Kick outside to Harrell, going to pass it back into the lane, and an offensive foul is going to be called on Fromm's drive to the basket. You can kind of see that one coming as Fromm had got a full head of steam, and Pirate defender was able to set up in the lane and took the charge, and the Pirates get the ball right back. 4-2 at 5:20 to go here in the opening quarter. Scarborough has it between the circles, goes over to Cooper. Glendale playing straight up man-to-man defense, and Jones is going to beat that man-to-man defense to get his second basket of the ball game right down the middle of the lane, and the game's tied at 4. Under 5 minutes to go here in the first quarter. Attempted double team in the front court. Glendale gets out of it, and they take advantage of the numbers at the other end. Here's a shot that goes down and one for Carter Harrell. Branson had the double team right at midcourt, but Glendale was able to throw out of it. Harrell was open down low, getting over the lane to try to block him was a scone, but couldn't get there. And so Glendale has a chance for the old-fashioned three-point play, which they will get to go up 7-4. Scarborough into the front court, gets it to Goodwin, just outside the free throw line now. He'll drive into the lane, kicks it back out to Cooper. Cooper thinks about a drive, bounces it inside to Scarborough, and this time he gets a clean look and gets the layup to go down. And that cuts the Glendale lead to 1, 4:30 to go first quarter. Tried that earlier. Glendale was able to intercept it that time. Good pass and good delivery to Scarborough. Jumper from about 15 feet is going to be good on the right wing by Grant Gibbons, who now has 6 of Glendale's 9 points. Cooper throws it underneath to a scone. Ball tip trying to get back outside, and Jones not able to get it. Glendale has a 3-on-2 break. Dish it off, and that one's not going to count as Carter Harrell this time is the player that runs over a defender after he passed the ball. Second team foul on Glendale. 4 minutes to go first quarter. Pirates with a long one could tie it here. Goodwin has it on the left wing, gets it between the circles. Scarborough wants to drive and will get it down low. Finds a man open. Here's Goodwin. Nice fake, but I think the shot was partially blocked. He went back up for it the second time. Almost got around to the defender, but Glendale was able to get back in position and block it. They lead at 9-6 with the ball. Right wing, Fromm has it. Goes into the low post. Kicks it back outside to Washington. Washington inside, and the layup off the glass and in. Grant Gibbons has 8 first quarter points, and it's 11-6 Falcon lead, their biggest of the game. 3:20 to go opening period. Scarborough, left wing, cross court to Cooper. Down on the baseline to Goodwin. Hands it off to Jones. Jones double teamed in the corner, gets it out to Cooper. Cooper gets to the free throw line. Stops there behind the back pass, but a scone shot is blocked. He gets his own rebound, put back is up, and won't go in. And Branson can't save it from going out of bounds. Justin Fields going to come in the ball game now for Branson. Coach Mike Linehan telling me before the game that Fields, as well as one of the other juniors, Aiden Dang, will see plenty of action tonight. Of course, they both played in the JV game. Here's a 3 by Washington that's going to drop down. Washington with the 3, and Glendale now with an 8-point lead, 14-6 at 2:40 to go opening period. Cooper has it on the left wing, gives it off to Jones. Jones overlooking the situation, Cooper has it in the corner. Outside it goes to Escone. He stops on the baseline, gets it back out top of the key to Cooper. Tries to get it to Scarborough. He can't get it, but Jones does and drops a three from long range. 7 points for Ethan Jones. He has all but 2 of Branson's points so far. And that gets the Pirates back to within 5, coming up on the 2:10 mark to go here in the opening period, 14-9. Drive to the basket, gets around the defender, and the layup rolls in by Logan Fromm. Fromm did a nice 2-step to get around the defender there and get the shot to drop. Scarborough right wing over to Jones. Jones free throw line jumper, knocks it down, and he's fouled. Boy, what a pretty move that was. And for folks watching on the Branson YouTube channel, that was something pretty special. To try to describe it, it was just he hung in the air and was able to release the shot just as he was hit, but kept focus on the basket. Nice play by the senior Jones, who now has 9 of Branson's 11 points, and he goes to the free throw line. That's the second foul, by the way, on Logan Fromm. Jones does complete the three-point play. He already has 10 points. Givens has 8 for Glendale, so right now it's the Jones and Givens show. Jones leads the individual tally, but Glendale leads the game 16-12 at the 1:42 mark to go here in the opening quarter. Washington in the corner right side for the Falcons. Goes back up top. Now goes over left side. Gerbrocker gets it back outside. Washington crossover dribble, spins in the lane, and he carries the ball traveling. As they picked the ball up early and took the extra step, and Branson will get the ball back. Jack Van Sickle back in the ball game. We talked a little bit about Van Sickle during the blue and gold. He had been injured, and Mike Linehan happy to give him back in and get him some minutes. As we get into the second half of the season, here's Jones' fadeaway jumper, just show Fields with the rebound. Tries to dish it off after he was blocked, and the ball stolen by Glendale. Washington behind the back dribble gets it into the front court. Goes over to the right side. Here's a quick release three that's going to be off no good, and good position on the rebound by Ethan Jones, forcing the foul on Tavion Washington. Good block out position by Jones that time, as Washington was coming in to try to reach around, and Jones just wouldn't let him do it. 60 seconds to go, opening quarter. Scarborough top of the key. Branson down 4. Cooper left open for 3. Rolls in and out, no good. Van Sickle almost steals the rebound, but it's Givens that comes up with it for Glendale. Passes it off. Goes over on the left side. Now back over. Top of the key as they throw it around, the ball around the perimeter. Now down to the basket, and going to the basket, one of the Glendale Falcons, Fields, commits the foul. Harrell goes to the basket as Scarborough gets called for the foul. Harrell will have 2 free throws coming up and is short on the first one. He'll have 1 more on the way. Givens took a rest, so he'll come back into the ball game. Cooper Wise had checked in for a moment, or actually he does check in right now for Glendale. Wise is the 6'4" junior. Second free throw is up and good by Harrell. Quinn Larson is also in the ball game for Glendale right now at the 25-second mark to go here in the opening quarter. 17-12, Falcons lead by 5, and a foul called on Glendale, trying to set up the switch on the screen and wasn't able to get steady. 15 foul on Glendale. First foul, Whitson gets Owen Pageant. He also was checked in, the 6'6" junior. Van Sickle on the baseline, back to Scarborough. Scarborough into the lane goes, can't get the shot to go. Fields tips the rebound to Van Sickle, back out to Cooper. Cooper drives the right side, goes back out. Scarborough left alone for 3. That one is going to be too long, and Fields gets the rebound. And Branson got a break there because it looked like the ball actually hit the support beam. That should have been a dead ball. It comes to be Glendale's ball anyway, as Branson couldn't handle the rebound. Glendale with a last shot here in the quarter. One forced up. That one will not drop down. Fields tips the rebound, and Glendale has a 17-12 lead at the end of the first quarter. 17-12, Glendale over Branson. Branson Pirate basketball presented by Central Bank and College of the Ozarks. Second quarter on the way next from MoarkSports.com.
At Central Bank, we turn possibilities into realities, and for our customers, relationships into returns. We're a community bank that goes where you go, with comprehensive tools and seamless solutions for every step in your financial journey. Do more with your money. Start your journey today at centralbank.net. Central Bank. We do banking better. Equal housing lender, member FDIC.
There's only one College of the Ozarks. This fall, experience all this amazing campus has to offer. Ralph Foster Museum, a favorite for decades, is reopening so you and your family can experience the artwork of Thomas Hart Benton, Ozarks history, and hundreds of amazing artifacts. The museum is open from 9 to 5, Wednesday through Saturday. And a visit to College of the Ozarks is not complete without lunch or dinner at the Keeter Center. Welcome back from the students, faculty, and administration of College of the Ozarks.
Second quarter underway here at Branson. The Pirates trail Glendale 17-12, and Branson with the ball to start the second quarter, but immediately turn it over. And so the ball goes back to Glendale with a 5-point lead. Washington got a rest at the end of the first quarter. He is back in for the Falcons. Passes out to Fierbacher. Washington, quick pass inside, and a foul called on Fields. Branson crowd thought maybe Fields got all ball. Was pretty close, but good passing by Glendale that time to be able to get Givens open inside. Now Givens shooting for double figures if he can make both free throws. And he's 1 point away as he cashes in on the first one. Jones already with 10 for Branson. Givens for Glendale will equal him if he can get this free throw down. And he will. So 10 for Givens, 10 for Jones. For Jones, he accounts for all but 2 of Branson's points. Givens has 10 of Falcons 19, and that is your score, 19-12. 7:20 to go in the first half. Cooper into the lane, no look pass to Justin Gill, but Gill wasn't expecting the pass. I think Cooper had the right idea, but Gill was thinking that he was going to go ahead and go to the basket, and it turned his attention to rebound. So the ball goes back to Glendale, already up 7. If they make a basket here, they'll have their biggest lead of the ball game. Branson also playing straight up man-to-man defense. A man-to-man basic game starting out here for both of these teams. Washington on the baseline. Goes into the lane, and they tried to get the charge again, but this time not biting on it as Fromm stayed just far enough away that Cooper wasn't able to draw the call, and Glendale now has their biggest lead of the game at 21-12. 6:45 to go here in the first half. Cooper to the basket all the way in, has his shot blocked by Washington, and then Van Sickle almost steals it, but he gets knocked down. No look pass. Layup is good by Harrell, and it's now an 11-point Glendale lead at 6:30 to go here in the first half. Branson really needs a basket here. Scarborough drifts in the air, not able to get the basket, but does draw contact and will go to the line. This game in danger of getting away from the Pirates early here if they can't somehow stem the tide. First free throw up and rolls in for Scarborough. Third point for the Branson senior. He'll have one more on the way. Up. That one's going to be off the mark. 10-point Glendale lead with the ball. 6:25 to go. First half. Washington passes it off. Gets it into the lane. Here's a drive, and that's going to be good. And right now, Givens and the Falcons scoring at will on the inside, 25-13. Now the biggest lead for Glendale at 12 points. Scone on the outside tries a three, no good. Cooper clears the rebound, gets it back out. Scone to Goodwin on the baseline, back to Scone, gives it off to Jones. Jones getting a lot of attention, but he's going to pop one anyway. It's still too long. Branson tries to get the rebound. Scarborough and Jones both going after it, and I'm not sure which one they whistle for the foul here. They're going to get Jones for the foul. Fourth team foul on the Pirates. One thing Branson does have going for them is they'll be in the bonus next foul, but right now they are down 12, and Glendale right now in control, trying to build on this lead. Washington with the ball between the circles. Goes over to the left side. To the baseline it goes. This is Gibbons. Gibbons is going to spin around, shoot no good. And Scarborough with the rebound down to Goodwin to the basket. Goodwin goes in, shoots and scores. Goodwin with his first layup, first basket of the game. Washington trying not to commit the foul and backed off a little bit, and Scarborough did a good job. Goodwin did a good job, but Scarborough does a good job here and will slam the ball home as he steals it, slams it home. Pirates with 4 in a row, and they have cut the lead to 8, 25-17. 5 minutes to go first half, and Scone almost gets a steal there. And the student section getting back into it now. You can hear them trying to rally the team. And right now, with good Pirate defense and some good plays, they're able to do it. Here's a lob, and that ball is going to be outside. And they're going to get Colt Cooper for a foul here. Oh, wow. They're calling Cooper for backing into the Glendale player. There wasn't a lot of contact there, but the other side of that is it wasn't even necessary because that ball was going out of bounds. Here is the shot in the corner by Glendale, no good. And the rebound to Glendale, but then tipped back to Branson. Scarborough to Cooper. Feeds Goodwin, and the ball knocked out of bounds. They're going to call a foul on Washington on the reach-in, and that'll send Goodwin to the free throw line for one of the bonuses. That's the 7th team foul. Well, those of you that that were watching on the internet feed and saw what happened there on the other end. There was a little contact, but not much. Goodwin missed the free throw, and I think everyone forgot it was a 1 in the bonus, so everyone froze for a moment. But Glendale now with the ball and the lead. Fromm gives it up, gets it back, passes it into the corner. This is Harrell. Harrell back out to Washington. Passing the ball around the perimeter. To the top of the key it goes, and they will now reset. Quick pass inside. This is Givens. Givens already with 12 first half points. Kicks it back outside to Harrell. Now they're going to post up with Washington. He gets around Jones and scores. Tavion Washington with 5. And Glendale back up to a 10-point lead at 4:10 to go first half. Scarborough to the basket. Goes in. Can't get it to roll home. Goodwin nearly steals the rebound, but it's picked up by Glendale. Falcons come back the other way. Inside. Reverse layup is going to be up and in. And I tell you what, the Falcons just have domination of the inside of the basket right now. The inside of the lane, they've got it all over the place. Let's go back out to Cooper. Cooper baseline to Goodwin. Branson needs a basket, and they get it from Cade Goodwin on the baseline. And the lead for Glendale back down to 10. 29-19 Falcons, 3:35 to go in the opening half. Quick moving first half. Branson will give up the ball, or not get the ball. They were trying to steal the ball, but it was tipped out of bounds. And will stay with Glendale. Again, 29-19 our score. Feuerbacher to throw the ball inbounds, goes immediately to the low post to Fromm. His shot will roll off the rim a couple of times, and it'll be Gill with the rebound. Gets it up to Scarborough. Scarborough in the corner to Goodwin. Goodwin drives into the lane, spins, shoots, and can't get it to fall. Gill fights for the rebound. He gets it, goes back up strong. Shot partially blocked. Was a lot of contact there, but no foul. And Glendale with the ball now. Washington, right wing, goes up top, quick pass inside. Gibbons spins, shoots, and get it this one to fall. Goodwin had the ball, but it rolls right off of his arm into the hands of Washington for the Falcons, and Glendale will get another shot at it here. Harrell spins in the lane, kicks it out inside. Shot for three by Givens is no good, and the rebound kicked around, and it is off of Glendale, and we'll come back to Branson. 2:42 to go first half. Scarborough front court right side. Goes into the lane, spins in, gets away from the defender, shoots, can't get it to fall. Rolls off the front of the rim, but he will be fouled, and free throws coming up for the Branson senior Kyle Scarborough. That's not Washington. They're going to call it on Cole Fearbacher. His second foul. It is team foul number 8 on the Falcons. Scarborough makes the first free throw. Kyle up to 6 in the ball game. He'll have one more to come. Brian McTagg, and we mentioned he has 1 year at Branson. Had a very successful year, but he likes to play a lot of players. That's been a trademark of his, not only here and at Glendale certainly, but even prior to that when he was at Clever. 29-21, Glendale's lead down to 8. And Branson might get the ball back there. It kind of looked like Washington was the last to hit that, but a Pirate must have come around. No argument from the Branson bench, so Washington will inbound. 2:20 to go first half. Inside, and Gill's going to commit a foul as Owen Paget got around Gill just to get the ball, and Justin tried to get back in the play, not able to do so. Paget, who did see a little action in the JV game earlier, will shoot the free throw for Glendale, misses. By the way, Branson won the previous 2 games, and they were both good games. The freshman game was really well fought by both teams. Each team had a lead late, but Branson ended up with the final lead, 37-36. The JV game also went Branson's way as they pulled away late for a 54-45 win. Game at one time was tied at 43 late in the game, and Branson was able to get the lead and salted at the free throw line. Blocking foul called as Jones goes to the basket. And Jones will have a couple of free throws coming up. Carter Harrell commits the foul. And it's one in the bonus. And the free throw rolls out, no good for Jones. 2 minutes to go, first half. 8-point Glendale lead with the ball. Baseline Harrell. Stop there, has to throw the ball. Gill almost gets the steal, but Glendale ends up with it in a fake pass and a nice move to the basket there. Owen Paget gets the basket, and Glendale back up by 10. Paget with his first basket. Goodwin to the basket for Branson. Off the glass, his shot will drop in. Goodwin with his 6-point. Lead is down to 8. Glendale maintaining that advantage. 1:20 to go here in the first half. Neither team's taken a timeout here in the first half. It's been very quick moving, and doesn't look like that'll happen unless necessary. Here's a miss. Ascone with the rebound and assist to Ethan Jones, who now has 12 points. And the Pirates as close as they've been in a while, 6 points. Arrow does right now favor Glendale as we're in the final minute of the first half. Washington on the baseline right side, passes in, ball knocked around, and Gill picks it up for Branson. Gets it to Scarborough. Big possession for Branson here. Good one on the baseline. Won't push it. Branson's going to clear out. Not sure they're going for the final shot, but they're at least going to take their time. Jones is going to go to the basket again instead, and then a foul over the back on Branson. Jones saw an opening and thought maybe he might sneak one in, but Glendale recovered defensively, and that shot was off balance. Jones kind of was trying to make sure he got it over the defender and overshot the mark. Gill picks up his third foul, and at the other end it's one and the bonus for Grant Givens, who already has 14 first half points. First shot is up and good, getting Givens to 15. One more coming up for Givens. trying to get the lead back to 8, which he will do. Perfect on both free throws, 16 for Givens in the first half. He's got 16 in Glendale's 33. 30 seconds to go, opening half, 33-25 Glendale, and a collision as Scarborough kind of ran into the Glendale defender. That was Ian Ferrugi, who's been in a couple of times already. Ferrugi is a 6'0 junior. First foul, and Scarborough to the line. He gets the free throw, his 8th point. It's Branson back to within 7. So you can almost bet, as Scarborough does miss the second, but Goodwin gets the rebound, puts back up, can't get it to fall, and then he commits a foul on the rebound. Oh man, what a chance that was. Goodwin had a decent look at it, but this Glendale team, and we were telling you about their length and their height. 2 6'9" players already in the game, or one has already been in the game. 6'5", 6'6". And a definite advantage. Branson's tallest player is 6'3". First free throw at the other end is good. One more on the way. I believe that is Jake Safiel's at the line. And he'll make them both. And it is now a 9-point Glendale lead. Really a must-make for Branson, who probably will now go for the final shot. At the very least, go down 7, maybe 6 if they can get a long one, especially with Glendale starting with the ball in the second half. 10 seconds to go before halftime. Jones looks for a screen. Can't get it inside. Goes to Scarborough. Scarborough to the basket. Dishes off to Goodwin. His one-hander no good as the first half comes to an end. And Glendale will have a 9-point lead as we go to the locker room at halftime. Our halftime score is Glendale 35 and Branson 26. Branson Pirate basketball is presented by Central Bank and College of the Ozarks. Our halftime show is coming up next on MoarkSports.com.
Spine and joint pain can keep us from doing the things we love. Lower back pain is the leading cause of work disability worldwide, but it doesn't have to hold you back. At Advanced Spine and Joint Center, Dr. Zach Valdick and his team utilize the most proven methods of assessing and treating your pain. Advanced Spine and Joint is a trusted provider with Ambetter and most insurances, as well as proudly treating our area veterans through VA referrals. See how they can help you at advancesjc.com or call 417-334-1334.
Over the last few years, the Robbins Group has earned the trust of this community by providing exceptional service in everything from insurance and financial planning to digital marketing. This summer, they opened Pizza by the Slice, serving delicious New York-style pizza from a convenient location on Branson Landing Boulevard. And whatever they do, the Robbins Group is committed to making their clients feel like family. They seek to maintain a customer-first mentality and support the people of this community, including our Branson Pirates. Give them a call or check them out on the web at www.robbins.fun.
Does your car need a good cleaning? Check out Branson Bubbles. They're the hottest new destination with a state-of-the-art car washing experience. Branson Bubbles gets your car, truck, or SUV right back to its shiny self. They're located on Highway 248 right next to the O'Reilly Auto Parts there in Branson. Free vacuums, car care vending, and more. Branson Bubbles is proud to support Branson Athletics. Go Pirates!
Back here at Branson High School, our halftime score. Glendale leads the Pirates. Falcons on top on this one, 35-26. Glendale led 17-12 at the end of the first quarter. Back and forth early, but Glendale went on a surge at the end of the first quarter. Maintained that in the second quarter. Went up by as many as 12. Branson had a chance to cut into the lead, but came up short on a couple of possessions, and Glendale able to get the lead back to 9 at halftime, 35-26. But really a tale of a couple of scores in this ball game, one for each team. For Branson, it's Ethan Jones who leads with 12 points. Kyle Scarborough came on at the end of the first half. He ends up with 8, and Cade Goodwin at 6. For Glendale, it is Grant Gibbons that leads them in scoring with 16 points. Carter Harrell with 6. Tavion Washington with 5. Logan Fromm with 4. Owen Padgett with 2. And also 2 for Jake Sankfels in the first half. As the Falcons lead this one by a count of 35-26. Well, as far as the Branson stream, this is our only broadcast this week. But we still have plenty going on MoarkSports.com this week. We mentioned we've got 2 other broadcasts going on tonight. Jim Johnson and Mike Yarborough down in Harrison have got the Goblins doubleheader with Gentry tonight. Perry Phillips is across the lake in Hollister covering the Tigers, taking on Fair Grove. On Thursday, Thursday, Reed Spring, the girls will play at Springfield Catholic. Perry will have that game Thursday. And then Friday, another busy day. Darren Carter will be back at the microphone as he'll cover Forsyth. Panthers have court warming that night against Buffalo. Also going on that night will be Reed Spring on the road at East Newton. Perry will have that game, and then the Harrison folks will be on the road, Lady Goblins and Goblins against Farmington. Our next Branson broadcast will come your way next week. We'll be taking a couple of trips to Ozark. Girls action on Monday, boys action on Tuesday. Plenty going on. Actually had a chance to catch up with College of the Ozarks basketball coach Steve Shepard. He was here earlier and told me, that things are starting to come together for his ball club. They got a big win last night and got a win this afternoon as well, as they got a game with Haskell this afternoon, and the Bobcats were able to come up with that win. Lady Bobcats had a big win earlier this week as well. They play at home tomorrow afternoon at 2 o'clock. And we do later on this year plan on having some College of the Ozarks basketball here on Moark Sports. Trying to get the details finalized on that. Again, we'll be on the road with Branson next Monday and Tuesday. And we do want to remind you that for Branson home games, you'll be able to hear us and also see the pictures courtesy of the Branson Media Group, as they produce a lot of the home events for Branson High School. Not only football and basketball, but some wrestling and volleyball as well, and soccer. And we're grateful to work with them, providing coverage of high school sports this year. Again, our halftime score, it is Glendale 35 and Branson 26. We'll take this time out and get you set up for the second half straight ahead on MoarkSports.com.
These days, the concept of value matters more than ever. And you'd be hard-pressed to find a better value than high school sports. Extracurricular activities, including sports, make up about 2% of the budget for a typical Missouri high school. In return, participation in sports promotes citizenship and sportsmanship. Sports also instill a sense of community pride and teach lifelong lessons about cooperation and self-discipline. They encourage physical fitness. They produce community leaders. By offering so many benefits to the community for such a small percentage of a school's overall budget, it's easy to see why high school sports are one of the best bargains around. The real cost would come from not having them at all. High school sports, a winning part of a complete education. This message presented by the Missouri State High School Activities Association and the Missouri Interscholastic Athletic Administrators Association.
There is only one College of the Ozarks. This fall, experience all this amazing campus has to offer. Ralph Foster Museum, a favorite for decades, is reopening so you and your family can experience the artwork of Thomas Hart Benton, Ozarks history, and hundreds of amazing artifacts. The museum is open from 9 to 5, Wednesday through Saturday. And a visit to College of the Ozarks is not complete without lunch or dinner at the Keeter Center. Welcome back from the students, faculty, and administration of College of the Ozarks.
At Central Bank, we turn possibilities into realities, and for our customers, relationships into returns. We're a community bank that goes where you go, with comprehensive tools and seamless solutions for every step in your financial journey. Do more with your money. Start your journey today at centralbank.net. Central Bank. We do banking better. Equal housing lender, member FDIC.
Second half about to get underway here at Branson as the Pirates trail Glendale 35-26 at halftime. Scott McCauley with you. Glad to have you with us here tonight on MoarkSports.com. It's our first broadcast of the 2022 portion of the season. Well, I should say it's the first Branson broadcast. Perry actually got a head start on things last night. He had coverage of the Hollister Mount Vernon girls game and got a full set of games coming out the rest of this week and through the rest of the year. I was talking with Branson Assistant Athletic Director Anthony Hayes here a little earlier, and we were just talking about the fact that we're already in the second half of the year, and pretty soon we're going to start looking at standings and looking at districts, which happens at the end of February, and it really does sail by once you get to that, get past Christmas and get into the holidays. We talked a little bit earlier that, our next broadcast here on Mohawk will be next week. We do want to remind you the Branson Lady Pirates do have a game Thursday. Chatted a little bit earlier with Kip Booth, the girls coach. He, of course, he has some sons. I think we talked about this earlier. A couple of his sons play on the freshman and JV teams for Branson. And the older one has actually got some varsity action as well. And has been in a couple of times Tristan. But talk a little bit about the girls team and good first game against Aurora. Struggled a little bit in the last two games as he thought they might. And kind of the Branson boys had the same fate in the blue and gold, but got a first round win. We're both seeded and won. And a lot of times you get seeded in those terms, in those big tournaments, you want to at least meet your standard, and they did by winning their first games. But Glendale with the ball to start the second half. Branson almost steals it, but Washington gets it, a little behind the back dribble. Now Glendale will reset things as we go and start the second half. Branson looks like they've got their same starting lineup out there. Glendale misses a shot. Cooper tips the rebound to Scarborough, down to Goodwin. A little bit out of his reach, so Goodwin will back out and look to set things up. Scarborough, Cooper, Ascone, Goodwin, along with Jones, all in the lineup. Shot missed by Branson, back the other way, and Ascone is able to get in the passing lane and knock it away. Good job by Pilot to stop a 2-on-1 fast break. Jones with the ball into the front court. Stop there, gives it over to Cooper. Colton looks, gets it over to Ascone. Back over to Cooper. So they're playing around the top of the key. Now pass in the corner. Ascone right back to Cooper. Trying to find a way to get Scarborough the ball. Instead, Cooper's going to go to the basket, tries to shovel it in, and Glendale had just got in the passing lane as he threw it, and Glendale's going to get a fast break layup at the other end off the turnover. One of those situations where the pass a second earlier would have been right there, but Glendale had got in the lane, and Carter Harrell gets the basket at the other end. Scarborough tries to answer, and he does the same thing. Tries to pass it inside to Goodwin, and right as he did, Glendale got in the passing lane. They're up 12, trying to make it 14, and they will. Tavion Washington with 7 points, and Glendale now has their biggest lead of the game. Actually, 13-point lead now at 39-26, 6:10 to go, third quarter. Branson needs a basket. They've not scored in this second half. Cooper gets the loose ball on the rebound, tries to get it back to Goodwin. He does. Goodwin hook shot will go in. maybe not great on the stop point, but he was able to kind of circle around, get the ball in, and give Branson the basket they needed. They've cut the lead to 11. 5:45 to go, third quarter. Quick moving games here tonight. Here's a three ball, no good. Washington able to get the ball from above. Jones tries to pass it inside. That ball tipped around, and Cooper tips it to Escone. Back to Cooper. Cooper has Washington. He has to try to avoid, and Glendale steals the ball on the fast break, much like Branson did earlier. Glendale with the back. Here they come charging down the court. This is Fearbacher. He has his pocket pick. Back the other way to Scarborough. Down to Jones for the layup. Jones' first basket of the second half. And the Pirates now with 4 in a row. They are back to within 9 at 39-30. 5:08 to go here in the third quarter. Drive to the basket. Kick back now top. Here's Harrell. Harrell dishes it off. Ball loose on the ground and will go out of bounds. Last touch by Escone. And it will stay with Glendale. And we have a timeout called by Glendale. 39-30. That's our first timeout of the ball game. 4:58 to go third quarter. Back after this timeout on BulwarkSports.com.
Spine and joint pain can keep us from doing the things we love. Lower back pain is the leading cause of work disability worldwide, but it doesn't have to hold you back. At Advanced Spine and Joint Center, Dr. Zach Valdick and his team utilize the most proven methods of assessing and treating your pain. Advanced Spine and Joint is a trusted provider with Ambetter and most insurances, as well as proudly treating our area veterans through VA referrals. See how they can help you at advancesjc.com or call 417-334-1334.
4:58 to go third quarter. 39-30 is the score. Glendale with the lead over Branson on the inbounds play. Glendale tries a three. And beautifully executed by Glendale there as Harrell gets the ball in the quarter. He now goes to 11 points with the tray. And it's 42-30. Branson trailing now again by 12. Van Sickle back in the ball game for the Pirates. Feeds it inside to Goodwin. Back to Van Sickle. Quick release three is up and down. Jack Van Sickle with a basket. And that answers the Glendale three. Branson right back to within 9. Quick pass. Entry pass to the low post, and the shot will go in. Just too much position right there for Logan Fromm as he was able to get that position and just fight his way to the basket. He has 6, Glendale up 11. Scarborough tries to answer, misses at the other end. Glendale with a rebound, and they are on the run down court. Here's Fearbacher, gets cut off, and Van Sickle then reaches in trying to steal the ball. And Branson's committed their first foul of the second half. Also his first personal foul. Just shy of 4 minutes to go here in the third quarter. Been a quick moving game. Actually got started a little early tonight. Both the freshman and JV games we mentioned were good games, but both went fairly quickly. Escone, nice job by Pilot there. And again, I know the folks watching on Branson Pirates TV got a good look at that when Scone was just trying to get the ball back inbounds, and it hit a Falcon perfectly timed, and Glendale gives up the basketball. Branson with it. Scone has it right now. He had just checked back at the game. Jones off the screen for three. That's short, and the rebound fumbled around and eventually picked up by Washington for Glendale. He's down the left sideline. Now we'll back out. Goes over right side. Shot for three. Up, down. That is a three by Grant Gibbons. Gibbons now with 19 points, lead all scorers. And now Glendale's got their biggest lead of the game at 47-33. Branson tries to pass inside. Jones not able to get to it on the pass by Scarborough. I think Jones gave up on it because I think he thought it was touched by a Glendale player, but it wasn't. And not able to pick it up. Not want to take the chances. It was just out of his reach, and instead Glendale now has a chance to extend that biggest lead. They get it inside to the low post. Shot off the glass, no good by Fromm, and it's Branson's rebound. It's going down the left sideline all the way to the baseline. Gets it up to Goodwin just to the left of the free throw line. Jones will come out to get the ball between the circles. Now goes over to Scarborough on the baseline. He goes cross court and actually hits the basket, goes right to a scone. Goodwin has it in the corner. Now back over to Jones. Jones bounce pass to Scarborough. Quick pass into Goodwin for the basket. Good ball movement by Branson. Cade Goodwin goes to double figures with 10. And it's 47-35. Branson back to within 12. Washington, right free throw line extended, back up between the circles. Now gives the ball quickly to Fromm. Fromm feeds it on the inside, and this time it's Glendale that gets the deflection as Givens throws it off a Branson Pirate on the baseline. And possession will stay with the Falcons. We've only had one foul called here in the third quarter, and we've got 2:12 left. And a steal by Scarborough out in front. Goes to the basket, shoots, hits it to fall, and it's fouled. Wasn't sure that one was going to go down, but Scarborough got out in front of Harrell and had just enough to get to the basket and slips it home. And Scarborough with a chance to get Branson back within single digits here with a free throw. Third foul called on Harrell. Scarborough makes the free throw. He has 11. And Branson, a little bit of a run. They've got the lead back down to 9. 47-38. Ball into the front court for the Falcons. Washington into the lane. Passes it off to a wide open player on the baseline. And that is going to be a basket and a foul, a dunk by Logan Fromm. And they're going to call the foul on Tristan Pierce, who had just checked into the ball game. Pierce commits the foul, and so now a three-point play on the Ducks. So Branson had just got back to within 9. Glendale gets it back to 12, just like that on the Fromm dunk and free throw. 50-38, 1:50 to go here in the third period. Scarborough throws it to Jones. Jones over to Goodwin. Goodwin gets inside position, goes up, shoots. He can't get it to fall, but is fouled. Thought Branson might get the friendly roll on that one, but just bounced out. But Goodwin is going to get free throws, as the foul will be called on the Falcons' Grant Givens. 1:43 to go, third quarter. Goodwin's first free throw bounces away. So Branson with 3 in double figures. Jones 14, Scarborough 11. Goodwin can join him with 11 if he makes a second free throw, which he will. And we're going to have a timeout called by Branson. 50-39, 1:43 to go, third quarter. Back after this timeout on MoarSports.com.
Does your car need a good cleaning? Check out Branson Bubbles. They're the hottest new destination with a state-of-the-art car washing experience. Branson Bubbles gets your car, truck, or SUV right back to its shiny self. They're located on Highway 248 right next to the O'Reilly Auto Parts there in Branson. Free vacuums, car care vending, and more. Branson Bubbles is proud to support Branson Athletics. Go Pirates!
To go, third quarter, 50-39. Glendale with the lead over Branson here. Both Branson and Glendale coming off losses. Branson 2 in a row at the blue and gold. Glendale lost in the finals of the Berryville Holiday Hoops Tournament to the host Bobcats. Branson would fall below 500 for the first time if they lose here tonight. And they've got 90 seconds plus a quarter to try to get back in it, trailing by 11. Glendale with the basketball, and an out of bounds play. They were looking for 5 seconds, but that's not what happened. They said the defender backed off, but I think that Feuerbacher actually stepped on the sideline trying to get away. 50-39, Branson trying to get the lead to single digits. Scarborough, 18-footer, no good. He gets his own rebound. Quick pass to Goodwin inside, shoots. His shot blocked from behind. That was a clean block by Fromm, and Glendale on the run. Down the left sideline, Washington finally gets the ball back. Now couple quick passes in the lane. Givens kicks it outside. Here's a shot for 3. That one is short. Scarborough with the rebound as we approach 1 minute to go. Scarborough, corner to a Scone. Quick release 3. Up, no good. Long rebound to Glendale. Here's Furbacher the other way. Cut off as he lost the handle on the ball. He'll kick it outside. No one picks up Grant Gibbons, and he drills home the three. Boy, that's a big one there as Glendale now equals their biggest lead at 14, down to 40 seconds to go here in the third quarter. Branson does have the arrow to start the fourth quarter. Don't know if they'll go for the final shot. They may elect to now as they're down to 25 seconds to go here in the period. Scarborough in the corner left side, eyeing the situation. Goodwin has it on the baseline. They get it to Scarborough inside. Scarborough tries a reverse layup, no good, on off-balance shot. And now Glendale will have the final shot of the quarter. Just 10 seconds to go. Furbacher into the front court. Gets it to the top of the key. Dishes it off. Drive, kick out. Here's a shot for three, up and down as the third quarter comes to an end. Fromm with 12. And Glendale just put a huge mark in this ball game as the Falcons get the three at the buzzer. And at the end of three, it is 53-39. Glendale on top. Fourth quarter coming up next on Mohawk Sports. Make that 56-39 as we go to the fourth quarter on MohawkSports.com.
These days, the concept of value matters more than ever. And you'd be hard-pressed to find a better value than high school sports. Extracurricular activities, including sports, make up about 2% of the budget for a typical Missouri high school. In return, participation in sports promotes citizenship and sportsmanship. Sports also instill a sense of community pride and teach lifelong lessons about cooperation and self-discipline. They encourage physical fitness. They produce community leaders. By offering so many benefits to the community for such a small percentage of a school's overall budget, it's easy to see why high school sports are one of the best bargains around. The real cost would come from not having them at all. High school sports, a winning part of a complete education. This message presented by the Missouri State High School Activities Association and the Missouri Interscholastic Athletic Administrators Association.
Got some work to do. Glendale with a big run at the end of the third quarter goes up by 17. They hit a three to end the third quarter, but Ethan Jones will hit a three to start the fourth quarter. He has 17 points, and Branson back to within 14. So can Branson answer the two late threes by Glendale at the end of the third quarter to get him this 17-point lead? Well, they've answered once. Can they answer twice? Ball loose on the ground, and they're going to say it goes to Glendale. Yes, Jones was the last to touch, or Cooper was the last to touch it down on the baseline. 56-42. Glendale on top. Scott McCauley here with you at Branson High School. As we are up and going for 2022 here on Mohawk Sports. And I believe we're going to have a moment here to wipe some perspiration, get a broom, and clean up down on the floor a little bit. Glendale really hit a couple of big shots at the end of that quarter. And, you know, we had talked about Mike Linehan and that before the ball game, the height of Glendale. And even though their outside shooting has really been a big factor late in the third quarter, they really have had good control of the boards tonight on both ends and really make it a tough for Branson. And the Pirates have an uphill battle and just 7:25 to get back in it. They trail by 14, 56-42. Harrell with the ball, dribbling it around the top of the key, now between the circles, dishes off on the right side to Givens. Givens dishes it back up top. Glendale taking some time here. One thing about Brian McTagg, as the ball actually goes off of Washington out of bounds, so Branson will get it back. Seeing Brian coach many years, not only his 1 year here, but especially the years he was that clever, is that he will play the clock. And the clock right now, even though there's a long way to go in the game, he will try to maximize the possessions time-wise to run off as much clock as possible to limit the possessions. Branson's got the ball in their hands right now. That also puts pressure on Branson to try to score almost every time they have the ball. Jones has the ball tipped, but gets it to Scarborough. Scarborough knocks down the jumper from just beyond the arc. Kyle Scarborough with 14. And Branson on a little bit of a run. In fact, Glendale has not scored in this quarter yet. 56-45, the Pirates back to within 11. And they tip the ball out of bounds again. 6-0 run to start the quarter, and Brian McTagg wants a timeout to talk about it. Timeout, 56-45 is the lead for Glendale. 6:26 to go in this one. We're back after this with more on MoreSports.com.
Over the last few years, the Robbins Group has earned the trust of this community by providing exceptional service in everything from insurance and financial planning to digital marketing. This summer, they opened Pizza by the Slice, serving delicious New York-style pizza from a convenient location on Branson Landing Boulevard. And whatever they do, the Robbins Group is committed to making their clients feel like family. They seek to maintain a customer-first mentality and support the people of this community, including our Branson Pirates. Give them a call or check them out on the web at www.robbins.fun.
56-45, Glendale with a lead over Branson. 6:27 to go here in the ball game from Branson High School. Well, neither team took timeouts in the first half, but Glendale has taken 2, Branson 1 already here in the second half. Still plenty of timeouts left. Plenty of time left. Branson's been able to claw back in it. 6-0 run to start the quarter. And a stop here, they could get the lead back under single digits. Had it to within 8, actually had a chance to get within 6 at one time, but Glendale was able to stretch it out a little bit in halftime and really stretch it out the end of the third quarter. That run been big. Escone almost gets the steal, but Branson not able to come up with the ball, and Glendale gets it back. Drive to the basket. This is Harrell, and Harrell's going to be blocked. And they're going to call the blocking foul on Cooper. Second foul on Cooper, and the ball will go inbounds to Glendale. Tim Bishop, one of the veteran officials here, saying that foul occurred before the shot, so Glendale will have a chance to get an inbounds play and get a basket. That is no good by Givens. He hasn't missed many tonight, but gets that one. Nice fast break by Branson is finished off by Goodwin as Scarborough gets the feed down there, and Goodwin up to 13, and Branson indeed has cut the lead under 10 now. It's 56-47. Now an 8-0 run for Branson to start this fourth quarter. Glendale has the ball in the corner, 4-3, and they're going to drop it down. So Glendale's first basket of the fourth quarter is a Grant Givens 3. And Branson did so much work to get back to within 9. But just like that, on one shot, the Falcons get it back to 12. As we come up on 5 minutes to go in the game, Scarborough tries to bounce it inside. Actually deflects off the leg of a Glendale Falcon, not intentionally, so that's not a violation. Falcons come back the other way. Feuerbacher kicks it outside to Washington. Now goes to Givens. Givens on the right wing, about 10 feet away from the basket. Eventually goes back outside. And Feuerbacher goes, drives, kicks it out into the corner. And then we'll back it back outside. Farrell gives the ball up on the baseline to Givens. Drive by Feuerbacher, and Feuerbacher is going to be called for the charge. This time Cole Cooper able to draw the charge. Feuerbacher, third foul, third team foul. Still only 6 fouls total called in the second half, 3 on each team. And we're down to 4:42 to go. Branson basketball. Jones over to Cooper. Back over to Jones. Jones wants to drive to the basket, goes in, shoots, and he can't get it to fall, but he will get fouled, and this is going to be Carter Harrell getting the foul. That'll be his 4th foul. So the first player for either team now with 4 fouls. Glendale has that. Free throws by Jones. He makes the first. Ethan hadn't scored in a while, but now up to 18 points. I say he hasn't scored in a while. He did score to start the quarter. Second free throw good as well. 19 for Jones. Branson is back to within 10. Still need to get a couple stops like they had earlier in this quarter. Still have an opportunity to get back in, and they almost get one, and they end up getting the steal. Here's Cooper down court. Colt goes in, passes to Jones, shoots and scores. Nice pass in heavy traffic. Somehow found Ethan Jones, and here's a steal. Jones tries to go. Basket's going to be tipped out of bounds and will be last touched by Branson. Goodwin went after it, but he was thinking that maybe when Jones dribbled it, maybe he thought that someone for Glendale touched it, but Goodwin didn't know that, so he went after the basketball, but still good hustle by Branson there. And really making things tight. The lead is down to 8, 59-51. We're just shy of the halfway mark to go here in the fourth quarter, 4:02. So still plenty of time, and certainly Branson picking up some momentum. Cleaning up a little bit. There may have been some water or something that was hit there on the bench as Goodwin went into it. Washington to inbound. A lot of activity. Branson really picking up the defensive pressure. Fierbacher in the backcourt being guarded by Van Sickle. He gets it to the front court. Pressure a lot, and they're going to call a reach-in foul, which will get a interesting reaction from the crowd. The Glendale fans saying it's about time. The Branson fans are saying, what the world was that? Those of you that are watching can make your own judgment on that. Glendale does get the ball. Only 14 fouls. And Glendale almost turns it over again. Branson able to get a tip out of bounds. Falcons will get the ball now in the left corner. 3:52 to go, 59-51. Glendale has led since about the middle of the first quarter in this one. 8 points is as close as Branson's been in a while. Harrell with the ball. Glendale still wants to run clock, but Branson really picking up the defensive pressure. Fierbacher has it outside. Van Sickle really trying to guard him, and almost a steal by Scarborough, but couldn't quite control it as it goes out of bounds. Tristan Pierce will come back in the ball game. Van Sickle's going to take a rest. So it's Pierce, Scarborough, Ascone, Jones, and Cooper in the ball game right now for the Pirates. Fierbacher to inbounds. Gets it inbounds to Fromm. Fierbacher gets it back. Trying to make something happen, and Glendale's going to have to take a timeout. Timeout Glendale, 59-51. Falcons on top, of Branson trying to pressure some turnovers. 3:29 to go. Back after this timeout on MoarkSports.com.
At Central Bank, we turn possibilities into realities, and for our customers, relationships into returns. We're a community bank that goes where you go, with comprehensive tools and seamless solutions for every step in your financial journey. Do more with your money. Start your journey today at centralbank.net. Central Bank. We do banking better. Equal housing lender, member FDIC.
.51, 3:29 to go here at Branson High School. Glendale leads Branson. Really intense fourth quarter. Glendale trying to run clock. Branson doing a lot of pressure. Branson still with some fouls to give here. Each team with 4 fouls. Glendale can't get the ball down, and here's an offensive foul they draw on Washington as Colt Cooper draws it. And Brian McTagg, the Glendale coach, is not happy. Not sure he's as much displeased with the officials as he maybe is with his own player that didn't see that coming. Now 8 points the deficit for Branson. Scarborough wants to go to the basket. That cut off. Back to Cooper. Cooper looked for someone to throw to. Instead, he goes to the free throw line, shoots no good. Rebound to Pierce. He shoots and scores. Tristan Pierce with the shot, and it's now 59-53. Glendale's lead down to 6. Fierbacher into the front court. Kicks it outside, quick to the baseline. Shot's going to be blocked from behind by Scarborough. And free throws upcoming for the Falcons. They get Pierce for the foul. He and one of the other Pirates, maybe Cooper, or actually it was Scarborough that was down there. Scarborough got the block, but I think Pierce found him from the other side. So at the free throw line for Glendale is Givens. He has 25 points. First free throw good. He's now up to 26. He leads all scorers. Glendale's only had 4 points this quarter, but they still lead it now by 7. Givens will have one more on the way, and he gets them both. 27 points for Givens. It's 61-53. The lead 8 for the Falcons. At 2:55 to go. Scarborough, top of the key, pulls up for 3. That one is off the back of the rim and then hits the support beam. That was the call that we thought should have happened earlier. Brian McTagg and Tim Bishop, the official, having a laugh about that. Glendale gets the ball inbounds and a chance to get the lead back to double digits. 2:40 to go in the quarter. They got an opening to the basket. Feuerbacher, though, can't make it. Ball loose. Picked up by Scarborough, tries to get it to Pierce. Pierce gets it down, over to Escone. Escone to the basket, shoots and scores! Escone with the basket and timeout called by Branson. And Escone gets the basket, but he is hurt on the baseline. I don't know what he did, but he went to the basket hard and came down. And they're going to look at him. Branson actually called the timeout before they even realized that Escone was hurt. He's walking gingerly on it. And they will go look at him on the sideline there. .230 to go. So Branson back to within 6 after the Escone basket, his first of the game. Van Sickle comes in for him while they tend to his injury. And Glendale will face full court pressure from Branson. Well, the Pirates have done a nice job of getting back into this one. And they're going to call a holding foul on Pierce. Now that's team foul number 6, so now the Pirates have no more fouls to give here. So Glendale goes to the line from this point on, and Washington stepped out of bounds, and I don't know how they didn't see that. Jim Davidson, veteran official, said no, it was good enough, but I guess maybe he got the ball away before he stepped out of bounds. Here's a shot inside, and that's going to be a block on Jones, and that one was pretty obvious. He did definitely get him with the arms as he's going up there. And it's Givens back to the free throw line. But, and folks that were watching may have had a better look than I did, but it looked like that Jones stepped on the line when he threw it, but apparently, and Jim Davidson was right on it, said no, he was above it. As long as he's not stepping over the line, that's okay. And apparently, was not stepping on it. If he's stepping over it, that's okay, and apparently that's what he did. Givens makes the first free throw. He has 28, one more on the way. And that one's good as well. 29 for Givens, and Glendale stretched the lead back to 8. 63-55, 2:15 to go. Branson needs some quick points and some quick stops, but they've done a good job of getting back. Here's Jones the basket. Underhanded layup, yes sir! And timeout Branson. 63-57 with 2:06 to go in this one. I think we're in for an exciting finish. We'll get to it after this timeout on MoarSports.com.
There is only one College of the Ozarks. This fall, experience all this amazing campus has to offer. Ralph Foster Museum, a favorite for decades, is reopening so you and your family can experience the artwork of Thomas Hart Benton, Ozarks history, and hundreds of amazing artifacts. The museum is open from 9 to 5, Wednesday through Saturday. And a visit to College of the Ozarks is not complete without lunch or dinner at the Keeter Center. Welcome back from the students, faculty, and administration of College of the Ozarks.
To go here. Branson not giving up on this one. Glendale still holding on right now. They're up by 6, 63-57. When Glendale went up 17 to end the third quarter, Looked like it might be a long night for Branson, but the Falcons only with 7 points this quarter, while Branson has scored 18. And have at least given themselves a chance here. Plenty of time. Now Branson has no more fouls to give, but they do have plenty of timeouts. Branson has 3 left, Glendale with 2. And still just in the bonus. So missed free throws could still benefit Branson here. Washington gets the ball inbounds. Branson not in a situation they have to foul yet, but they can't go too long. And here's a steal by Scarborough. Scarborough goes in for the dunk. And timeout Branson. 63-59 as the Pirates are within 4, and listen to the crowd now. Brian McTagg talking to his team about the lazy pass. Scarborough, kind of a football term there. Kyle was able to read it, got a jump on the route, and just rolled to the basket. That was like an interception you see in football where you can kind of read what's going on and make it. Scarborough stepped in front of that one and got the easy layup. And now it's a 4-point game and still plenty of time. So now you're really in a situation now. Yeah, you're down 4, you only got 1:55 left, but if you're Branson, you kind of play this straight up. 2 possessions, not a lot, especially the way Branson's been stopping here. 1:50 to go. Feuerbrocker into the front court, gets it all the way down. Double team, and what happened? They're going to call a timeout. Glendale took a timeout just before Glendale turned the ball over. They were close, but the official standing right next to the Glendale bench got the timeout. And based on my eyesight, it looked like that the timeout was called prior to that. So Branson almost gets another turnover, but they do force Glendale to burn a timeout. Glendale down to 1 timeout. I'll tell you what, Glendale really kind of fighting it here late, trying to close out this game. And Branson really making it tough on them. Even if Branson doesn't finish the comeback here, this has got to be encouraging for Coach Linehan. Because Glendale had complete control of this game, up 17 at the end of the 3rd quarter. But the Pirates right now have scored 20 fourth quarter points. This is a 20-7 run by Branson. And still 144. As I said earlier, when only a 4-point deficit here, you're not necessarily in a situation where you have to foul. Now, if they look like they may have a lane to the basket, you may need to stop them there, but obviously you don't want to foul on the shot that goes in here. An old-fashioned 3-point play. But Branson, again, can kind of play it straight up here. Washington goes to the backcourt to get the ball for Glendale. Being guarded by Jones. To the front court it goes. And a foul going to be called as double team there on the baseline against Harrell. So 1 in the bonus coming up. So Glendale, big free throws coming up. This is 1 in the bonus. Branson could do this 2 more times before the double bonus. Glendale's been pretty good at the free throw line tonight, but not this time. And somehow they didn't call a foul over the back, but the ball tangled up, and then we're going to have a foul called on Glendale on the steal. They get Fromm with the foul, his 3rd. Now, Branson had got the ball anyway. That's only the 16th foul, so Branson doesn't get free throws, but with 90 seconds to go, Branson could make this a 1-possession game. All they got to do is get a basket. Jones over to Cooper. Cooper free throw line, tries to bounce it inside. Ball gets away. It went right between Pierce and Scarborough, and the turnover gives it back to Glendale, and Branson gets it right back. To the basket we go. Shot is up. Counted and 1 for Ethan Jones. As Washington tried to take the charge and was not able to get in possession. 4th foul on Washington. Jones gets the basket. He has 25, and Branson has cut it to 2. And now has a free throw to cut it to 1. Wow, what a comeback this has been for Branson. Jones at the line, shoots it, and it's short, but rolls down. 26, and Branson down 1, and you definitely can play this straight up now. Now they're going to call a reach-in foul on Pierce. Well, and I know I look at this with Branson eyes. Didn't see much there. Pierce was just trying to trap in the corner. Glendale makes the first free throw. Feuerbacher with his first point of the game. He'll have one more. Glendale back up by 2. But this is still a one-possession game, even if Feuerbacher makes the second, which he does not, and Goodwin clears the rebound. 1:05 to go, 64-62 Glendale. Branson trying for their first lead since the first quarter, or at the very least to tie it. Goodwin in the lane, gets it back outside to Cooper. Cooper to Jones. Jones in the corner, goes to Pierce. Pierce drives in, tries to pass it to Goodwin. He fumbles it for a moment, gets it back. Goodwin shovels it to Cooper. Cooper goes inside. Here's Goodwin for the layup to tie the game. And with 40 seconds to go, we are tied at 64. And you definitely can play this straight up now if you're Branson. Glendale will go for the final shot here. Feuerbacher goes to the baseline, dribbles all the way around to Washington. They go inside, back into the corner, back up. We're down to 15 seconds to go. Feuerbacher has it. Gives it up. We're down to 10 seconds to go. Harrell with the ball, 5 seconds, 4 seconds. He goes to the basket. Harrell spins in the lane, shoots, and they're going to wave it off. I think. No, they're going to call the. So Glendale gets called for the foul. I couldn't tell how Tim Bishop was going to call it, but he calls the offensive foul on Harrell. That's his 5th. Denying Glendale the basket that could have won the game. And now Branson has a second, just over a second, to try to get something off here. But we may be heading to overtime, folks. Ryan McTagg having a very long conversation with Jim Davidson about that call. So now Branson with the second .3, and Branson's going to take a timeout. Timeout, Branson. We'll go ahead and keep it here for the timeout. Branson has come all the way back down 17 and has tied the game at 64. So for Branson, you've got 1.3 to go. You got to be very careful about not turning the ball over. You can't afford a 5 count here. Any turnover that doesn't touch anyone in bounds will give Glendale the ball underneath their own basket in a lot better position to try to win the game with the height they got inside. And, you know, one of the things, if you're Branson here, you might look at on an inbounds play, you might try to send somebody deep. But again, the danger there is that if you overshoot the target and don't make a connection, then Glendale might get the ball back. Even if you throw it deep and Glendale intercepts it, there's not going to be any time for the Falcons to do anything, and you got overtime. So the key for Branson, get the ball inbounds. You know, sometimes you see teams set up for player control fouls here. Now Branson can't run the baseline. That really makes that play a little bit more effective. So let's see how Glendale's going to defend this. Glendale will put a full court press on. Ascone tries to go baseball length. He gets it. Here's Jones for 3. It's up. It almost goes in. It almost goes in. tell you what, it was close, and Scarborough was going to go to try up and push it in, and had we had another second, he might have been able to do it, but instead, we've got overtime here at Branson. 4-minute overtime as we're tied at 64 at the end of regulation. Overtime on the way from Branson High School here on MoarkSports.com.
Spine and joint pain can keep us from doing the things we love. Lower back pain is the leading cause of work disability worldwide, but it doesn't have to hold you back. At Advanced Spine and Joint Center, Dr. Zach Valdick and his team utilize the most proven methods of assessing and treating your pain. Advanced Spine and Joint is a trusted provider with Ambetter and most insurances, as well as proudly treating our area veterans through VA referrals. See how they can help you at advancesjc.com or call 417-334-1334.
Bonus basketball for you tonight as we go to overtime. Branson in the fourth quarter erased a 17-point deficit. They were down 56-39. And the Pirates end up in this quarter with 23 points. Make that 25 points in the quarter. They hold Glendale to 8. And don't forget, one of Glendale's starters, Carter Harrell's already fouled out of the ball game. They've got another starter with 4 fouls. Branson also has a player with 4 fouls. That's Tristan Pierce. And Branson will start with the basketball here in overtime. Remember, Pilot Scone got hurt. That's why Pierce is in the game for him. I take that back. Scone is in the game, but Pierce is still in. Tristan had some big minutes there at the end of the game. They tried to throw the ball down low. It's deflected off of Glendale out of bounds, and Branson will take it. They were giving Cooper a little bit of a rest to start the quarter, so Pierce started the overtime period. And so now Branson does have the starters back in of Scone, Goodwin, Cooper, Scarborough, and Jones. Scarborough has it between the circles. Here's a Scone, corner for 3. That's a high arcer, no good. And Glendale tracks the rebound down. Falcons come back the other day. Feuerbacher trapped in the corner. Goes back up top to Givens. Yes, Givens has it. They drew baseball pass inside, and Givens gets the layup. Givens has 31, and Glendale retakes the lead 66-64. Glendale is still led. Branson was not able to get the lead, but they got it tied at the end of regulation. Here's Jones in the corner. Drives baseline, tries for the answer. He goes up, no good. Contact there, no foul. And Glendale gets the ball back up 2. Feuerbacher tries to go in himself, and they're going to call a blocking foul on Branson. And that'll send Glendale to the line. So Branson now, after getting all the way back in the ball game, Falcons can start this overtime period on a 4-0 run with 2 free throws here. Feuerbacher has 2 coming up. He went 1 of 2 of the line earlier and makes the first one here. Gets Glendale back up by 3, 67-64. 1 more on the way. Couple dribbles, and he'll knock it down. Feuerbacher with 3, and Glendale has the first 4 points of overtime, 68-64, 2:55 to go. Scarborough between the circles. Taking his time, tries to go to Goodwin, and he loses it out of bounds. Just a little bit of a sloppy pass there. Didn't get a good look at it that time. So Branson, and this is one of the things that happens. You use all your energy getting back into it, and now you get there, you get to the overtime, and it's not necessarily a letdown. You're still trying, but, there's still a little bit of a different energy level, and then it takes you a while to get it back. You can't take too long. You only got 4 minutes of overtime. Glendale scored the first 4 and looking for more, and they're going to get it as Givens will get the shot in the lane. He has 33, and Branson needs a timeout as Glendale has retaken charge of the game. They lead at 70-64 with 2:26 to go. We're back after this timeout from MoarkSports.com.
Over the last few years, the Robbins Group has earned the trust of this community by providing exceptional service in everything from insurance and financial planning to digital marketing. This summer, they opened Pizza by the Slice, serving delicious New York-style pizza from a convenient location on Branson Landing Boulevard. And whatever they do, the Robbins Group is committed to making their clients feel like family. They seek to maintain a customer-first mentality and support the people of this community, including our Branson Pirates. Give them a call or check them out on the web at www.robbins.fun.
Does your car need a good cleaning? Check out Branson Bubbles. They're the hottest new destination with a state-of-the-art car washing experience. Branson Bubbles gets your car, truck, or SUV right back to its shiny self. They're located on Highway 248 right next to the O'Reilly Auto Parts there in Branson. Free vacuums, car care vending, and more. Branson Bubbles is proud to support Branson Athletics. Go Pirates!
Well defended by Glendale, and the ball goes out of bounds. Branson now gives it up and trails by 6. Glendale into the corner, stolen by Scarborough, gets it ahead to Jones. Jones has to come back to get it, but still goes coast to coast for the layup. That was a big defensive stop there as Glendale had a chance to really put the game almost out of reach. And then they call a touch foul on Ethan Jones. Third personal on Jones. And back to the other end for free throws for Feuerbacher. Branson's got Glendale in the double bonus, so they'll have 2 free throws. Glendale's only committed 8 fouls. First free throw good by Feuerbacher. After missing his first one, he's now made 4 in a row. And he misses this one, but then even though Goodwin had position, it was Givens that was able to tip the rebound away and get it, and that's a big one as Glendale now up 7 in overtime. Scarborough goes to the basket. His shot won't roll in. Glendale with the rebound. And after the efforts Branson made to get back in this ball game, Glendale's about to put this one away in overtime and overcome a very rough fourth quarter. 90 seconds to go, and now with a couple of free throws as Ethan Jones now commits his 4th. Glendale could go by 9 here if they make them both. Branson has only scored 2 points here in the overtime. First free throw up and no good. Hiroki at the line, the junior. One more on the way. Branson could use another miss here for sure. But they won't get it as Hiroki will make the second. We're now an 8-point deficit, and Branson doesn't have much time. Jones gets it off to Cooper. Cooper back over to Jones. Jones into the lane, goes in, shoots in, can't get it to fall. Rebound to Goodwin. Goodwin goes up, shoots, scores, and is fouled. So Goodwin not only gets the basket, but I believe he just got the 5th foul on Tavion Washington. So Washington fouls out. And Branson got exactly what they needed right there. They needed some points and the clock to stop, and they got both. So Washington fouls out. Cooper Wise is back in the ball game for Glendale, 6'4" junior. And now Glendale's going to take a timeout. 1:17 to go. And right now the score, Glendale 74, Branson 68, but Branson at the line trying to creep a little bit closer. Coming up after this timeout on MoarkSports.com.
These days, the concept of value matters more than ever. And you'd be hard-pressed to find a better value than high school sports. Extracurricular activities, including sports, make up about 2% of the budget for a typical Missouri high school. In return, participation in sports promotes citizenship and sportsmanship. Sports also instill a sense of community pride and teach lifelong lessons about cooperation and self-discipline. They encourage physical fitness. They produce community leaders. By offering so many benefits to the community for such a small percentage of a school's overall budget, it's easy to see why high school sports are one of the best bargains around. The real cost would come from not having them at all. High school sports, a winning part of a complete education. This message presented by the Missouri State High School Activities Association and the Missouri Interscholastic Athletic Administrators Association.
Free throw, it rolls in after he makes the basket prior to the timeout, and Branson, a little bit of a run here. They still got some time, and they get a steal. Here's Goodwin to the basket, shoots and scores. Goodwin gets it, and here comes Branson again, down by 3. Down by 8 a moment ago, a 5-0 run, and the Pirates get back in it, but here's a basket and a dunk at the other end. As Branson's pressure defense, they couldn't stop the layup at the other end, and now they get the steal, and wow. So just like Branson gets back in it, and then 2 baskets later, it's a 7-point lead again. Here's a one-handed by Scarborough, doesn't go. Goodwin gets the rebound, but they need a basket in a hurry. Scarborough for 3, can he get it? No, he can't. Goodwin with the putback up. Yes, he can! Boy, there's been more ebbs and flows in this one than some of the streams we have here in the Ozarks. Branson got back to within 3, and then Glendale with 4 quick points. And now Branson can answer with 3 of their own. And if they make this, they're back to within 4. It's still an uphill battle. Goodwin does get the free throw. He has 23. Branson, pressure. They go to the basket. Here's the shot. That one's going to roll in by Fierbacher. And that one may have finally put it away for Glendale. Down to 25 seconds. Here's Scarborough 3. He'll answer. So maybe we spoke a little too soon. Lead is down to 3 again. 80-77. And boy, this one is just a shootout. Wild shootout. We'll tell you how it ends after this on MoarkSports.com.
There is only one College of the Ozarks. This fall, experience all this amazing campus has to offer. Ralph Foster Museum, a favorite for decades, is reopening so you and your family can experience the artwork of Thomas Hart Benton, Ozarks history, and hundreds of amazing artifacts. The museum is open from 9 to 5, Wednesday through Saturday. And a visit to College of the Ozarks is not complete without lunch or dinner at the Keeter Center. Welcome back from the students, faculty, and administration of College of the Ozarks.
At Central Bank, we turn possibilities into realities, and for our customers, relationships into returns. We're a community bank that goes where you go, with comprehensive tools and seamless solutions for every step in your financial journey. Do more with your money. Start your journey today at centralbank.net. Central Bank. We do banking better. Equal housing lender, member FDIC.
Glendale back to the free throw line the other end. Fierbacher at the line. 8 points total for him, and he'll make the first free throw here. 21 seconds to go. It is a 4-point Glendale lead, 81-77. One more on the way. He will misfire on that one, so Branson's still got a chance here. Scarborough quickly in the front court, off the screen. Kicks it outside. Here's Jones for 3. It's no good. Ascone with the rebound. He goes back up. No good there. Cooper with the rebound outside. Scarborough for 3. It rolls in and out. No good. Here's Jones to the basket, and he's fouled. But only 2.1 to go, so if you're Branson, you may have a decision to make here. If Jones makes the first free throw, you may have to try to miss the second and get a kick out. Not saying you have to do that, but you at least have to think about it. But all this is based on the first free throw here by Jones. First free throw is up, and it's good. So he has 29. Only 2.1 Branson's down 3. So my guess is you try to miss this one and get a kick out. And you got to hit the back, you got to hit the rim to do it, and he didn't do it. You got to hit the rim to do that, and he just went off the backboard. So Glendale gets it in bounds and loses it, and Branson has just got it back on a turnover. So 1 second to go, and Branson has to set up for a quick 3. So if you're Glendale, you got to focus your defense on the perimeter. Jones is throwing the ball inbounds. They go out long to Scarborough. Scarborough gets it away for 3, and it's short. Oh, it was on line, but short. And Glendale's going to win this one in overtime, 81-78. 81-78, the final score. Glendale, in a way, rallies to win it after they really had it won in regulation. And the Pirates, a hard-fought comeback, falls just a little short tonight. 81-78, the final. Totals on the final word after this on MoarkSports.com.
These days, the concept of value matters more than ever. And you'd be hard-pressed to find a better value than high school sports. Extracurricular activities, including sports, make up about 2% of the budget for a typical Missouri high school. In return, participation in sports promotes citizenship and sportsmanship. Sports also instill a sense of community pride and teach lifelong lessons about cooperation and self-discipline. They encourage physical fitness. They produce community leaders. By offering so many benefits to the community for such a small